Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video we are going to discuss feminism in the 21st century. What is it? Is it dead? Why do people hate it? And how has it evolved since its inception? If you haven't already, please consider subscribing for more videos about women's history. Hello, I am here to talk about all things women. So let's get into it. First off, what exactly is feminism? Feminism is a political, economic, and social movement that aims to establish equal rights, protections, and opportunities for women and girls. It recognizes that women as a class have historically been oppressed and seeks to address that oppression through a variety of means. While there are many different types of feminists and many different types of feminism, they generally all have the same ultimate goal of equality between the sexes. The first wave of feminism largely took place in the 19th and early 20th centuries. One of its main goals was the right to vote, also known as suffrage. Before the 19th century, women were mostly seen as property and had few rights. They could not own property in their own name. They had no legal control over their earnings and were often forced into unwanted pregnancies because they could not control their own bodies. However, by the end of the 19th century, women in several countries had won the right to vote. In the United States, for example, the right was finally secured with the passage of the 19th Amendment in 1920. Other key achievements of the first wave included the legalization of divorce in many states and the establishment of some protections against workplace discrimination. But then what happened? Well, after achieving these important legal reforms, interest in feminist issues declined significantly during World War II and after. This period became known as the second wave of feminism. Women entering the workforce began to realize that having access to jobs and education did not necessarily translate into equality. Issues such as reproductive rights, domestic violence, workplace inequality, and sexual harassment were brought to the forefront of public consciousness. In 1963, Betty Friedan published The Feminine Mystique, which argued that the traditional gender roles of the 1950s and 60s, which confined women primarily to the domestic sphere, were limiting women's potential and contributing to widespread dissatisfaction among married women. This helped to kick off the second wave of feminism, which lasted roughly from the 1960s to the 1980s. Some of the key goals of second-wave feminism were ending discriminatory laws and practices, challenging gender stereotypes, and creating more opportunities for women in traditionally male-dominated fields. The second wave also saw the emergence of radical feminist theory, which focused on the ways in which patriarchy and gender roles limited both men and women. During this time period, there was a lot of discussion about the oppression of women and the patriarchy, but the focus was mainly on white middle-class women. Women of color and other marginalized groups were largely left out of this conversation. And that brings us to the third wave of feminism, which began in the 1990s and continues today. Third-wave feminism, sometimes referred to as liberal feminism, aims to address the shortcomings of previous waves by incorporating the experiences and perspectives of women from diverse backgrounds. Some of its key goals include promoting intersectional feminism, which recognizes that gender intersects with other social categories like race, class, and sexuality, challenging cultural norms and representations of gender and sexuality, and advocating for women's rights globally. Social media has been a powerful tool for third-wave feminists who use it to raise awareness about important issues and organize around them. For example, the hashtag #MeToo, which was started in 2006 by activist Tarana Burke, provided a platform for survivors of sexual assault to share their stories and connect with others who had experienced similar trauma. Similarly, the viral video, #Period, which featured young girls from around the world talking about menstruation and dispelling myths and taboos surrounding it, helped to destigmatize this natural bodily function and empower girls to embrace their femininity. So what does this mean for the future of feminism? Well, I believe that feminism is more important now than ever before. Despite the progress that has been made, women continue to face significant challenges around the world. In many countries, women are still not equal under the law, and they face discrimination in areas such as education, employment, and healthcare. Additionally, women are disproportionately the victims of violence and abuse, and they often bear the brunt of poverty and environmental degradation. But I remain optimistic that by continuing to fight for equality and justice, we can create a better world for all of us. I think we have to remember that feminism is not just about women. It's about creating a more equitable and just world for everyone. By challenging harmful gender norms and stereotypes, we can create space for all genders to thrive. We must continue to challenge the status quo and work towards a world where every individual has the opportunity to reach their full potential. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. You might be saying something like feminism these days has nothing to do with equal rights. It's all about special rights for women. Now, where did you get an idea like that? Well, one reason why some people oppose modern feminism is because they believe that feminism is no longer about achieving equality, but rather about creating special rights and privileges for women. This view is often based on a misunderstanding of what feminism actually is. Feminism is not about giving women special treatment. It's about ensuring that women have the same opportunities and rights as men. It recognizes that women have historically been oppressed and seeks to address that oppression. Another reason why some people oppose modern feminism is because they see it as divisive and harmful to men. They argue that feminism promotes a culture of victimhood among women and pits the sexes against each other. However, this view ignores the fact that gender roles and stereotypes harm both men and women. Men are often expected to conform to a certain masculine ideal, which can limit their emotional expression and make them less likely to seek help when they need it. They can also face pressure to succeed in their careers and provide for their families, which can lead to stress and burnout. By challenging gender roles and stereotypes, feminism aims to create a society where all individuals can thrive, regardless of gender. But let's face it, misogynists are going to misogynize. And if you want to hear more about that, check out my video on the most famous misogynists in history. Okay, now I would love to hear from you. What are your thoughts on feminism in the 21st century? Do you think it's outdated or is it still relevant? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos about women's history. I would also like to take a moment to say a special thank you to my supporters, whose names you can see on screen right now. If you would like to support my channel, please check the links below. As always, thanks for watching. Bye.